Blackforest Chocolate Trifle, a very simple dessert that you can make that is perfect for Valentine's Day for two. So first things first, let's make the cherry syrup. So pit a few cherries and put them in the blender and add some alcohol if you want to boost it up a little. If not, just add a bit of water. Then blend it until you get a nice smooth consistency. Then sieve your syrup into a bowl to remove any bits. You can use the pulp that you have remaining to add as an extra layer in your trifle, or you can just get rid of it. Now to make the chocolate mousse, use some dark chocolate which you're gonna melt. You can use any dark chocolate that you want, but make sure it's at least 50%. Break them in pieces, then put them in a microwave safe bowl and heat up for about a minute or so until it's completely melted. Because this is cooking chocolate, it melts very easily. Using two separate bowls, crack your eggs into one and remove the yolk and place it into the other. The yolk is going to give your chocolate that richness and create a chocolatey custard, if you will. The white is what's going to give you the volume into your mousse. Now whisk your yolks until they are silky smooth. Then add them to your melted chocolate and mix well until well combined. You want to make sure that you keep mixing just to make sure that the eggs don't end up cooking. The chocolate should have cooled down quite a bit by then, but just in case, just keep mixing as you're adding the egg yolks. I am going to return this custard back into the bowl that had the yolks since I need a much bigger bowl. But if you have a bowl that's big enough to hold the egg whites as well, then skip this part. If you're returning the chocolate back into the bowl that had the egg yolks, just give it a good mix just to make sure that whatever yolk was left in the bowl is incorporated into the chocolate. Now using a hand mixer, beat your egg whites until they're nice and fluffy. You want to make sure that you beat them until they are very stiff, and do the test by inverting the bowl to make sure that it doesn't fall down. At this point you know that your egg whites are ready. Then fold them smoothly but slowly into your melted chocolate. It will seem very stiff at first when you're mixing, but as you're mixing along you will see it will loosen your chocolate mixture and you will get a nice smooth consistency. Make a simple cream layer by beating your double cream or heavy cream until you get fairly soft peaks, then sieve some icing sugar into your cream to add a bit of sweetness. Mix well until you don't see any more lumps, which you shouldn't if you have sieved in your icing sugar. We can finally put together this Blackforest chocolate trifle. The first layer, which is the brown layer, click here for the recipe. Crumble 2 decent sized slices of brownie as your base. It will act as your sponge layer, which will soak the cherry syrup that you would have made earlier. Pour your cherry syrup all over your brownies and watch it soak away. Now place some cherries as your second layer of your trifle. Now to be a bit more decorative and a bit more in theme with Valentine's Day, I am adding them on the side of the cocktail glass. Now either using a spoon or a piping bag, add in your first layer of cream. Try to be as even as possible, but you can always use a spoon to level out the layer. Then to keep up with presentation, just clean up the side of the glass, then add your next layer, which is going to be our chocolate mousse layer. The principle remains the same, just add a layer of chocolate mousse as evenly as you can, either using piping bag or spoon. Then clean the edges of the glass, then add your next layer of cream. Then finally top off with some chocolate shavings and top it off with 2 cherries on top, 1 for each. Now refrigerate for 6 hours, but ideally overnight. And there you have it friends, a very simple but romantic and super tasty dessert for Valentine's Day. This was my Blackforest chocolate trifle.